are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning.
Well, alright. Peace to the family, man. Happy to be back up in the building with the family. Yes. It's Hood in the Morning, the week of July 19th, 2021. I am the Hood Mystic. A little bit about me. If you don't know anything about me, this is your first time clicking on the video, you're like, what's going on here? Who is this dude talking? He's about to be talking for an hour and a half about a whole bunch of stuff. But first of all, who is this dude? Usually I click on his videos and he's just talking and I don't know nothing about him, right? So first off, I'm an author, astrologer. I like to read tarot. I love reading tarot. Let me correct that. I'm a father, husband, and overall lover of life, man. My name is Kyrie, but people call me Hood or the Hood Mystic. And I'm just here to provide a positive vibration and set your week off. We're going to talk about some astrology. We're going to talk about some, I would say current events, but not necessarily current events, just events in general. Rituals and things of that nature. You know, I'm under the belief that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I've reincarnated many a times, for this is one of the times in these reincarnations where I'm understanding that I am a reincarnated being and not just a human being, right? So I just intend to impart that wisdom over a period of time, and usually I don't do a lot of videos as I used to do, but on Mondays I tend to give it up. So if you ready to dive deep into some real esoteric mumbo jumbo, whole bunch of shit that don't make sense, you have found your guy, because I'm about to deliver at a high level. So how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How y'all mama doing? How your cousin them doing over on the west side? I seen your little cousin at the flea market. I told him to tell your mama I said hi, but he probably ain't delivered a message, so I'm telling you to tell your mama I said what's up. So be sure to tell your mama. Hood Mystic said what's up. How you doing? Shout out to all the mothers in the world. Hopefully y'all waking up with some vibrations. You know, this was a interesting weekend astrologically. I told y'all Sun opposed Pluto was, you make it what you want to make it. However, what I say goes in one ear, not the other. I understand that, because I do produce a lot of esoteric mumbo jumbo. But for the one person who is tuned in and tapped in and understands the level of reference that I'm bringing forth, hopefully your Sun opposed Pluto was pleasant, more pleasant than mine. Because that sun in the third decan of Gemini brought about a lot of discordant thoughts and a lot of discordant energies. And as I was bonding and mating with my soul, I realized that there were some boundaries to that overall relationship. And because of those boundaries, I brought about, I guess it was like not as positive as I would wish things to be. But I also understood that that was a boundary that I was bulldozing my ass through. So, what are we here to talk about? Before I get into the astrology, before I get into the law of attraction, I like to talk about a bunch of shit that I just simply want to talk about. It ain't coming from nobody, nowhere, but my just overall observations of the week. One of the things Spirit channeled to me into all of the spiritual energies and people out there is that you should really feel like you Big Meech. Play Rick Ross, BMF, when you wake up. You know why? Because you spreading love, light, wholeness, awareness. And it's a lot of our people, you understand what I'm saying, selling drugs or selling soda pops and things of that nature, just working a mindless ass job. But for the person that is spreading truth and awareness, get your D-boy on. Get your boastful energy. And I want to say, shout out to the Flannery family, right? God level intelligence, right? That's been criminalized by the government. However, I want to give my ashe to all of my brothers and sisters in the 313 and the 248. Shout out to the Flannery family. Right? Shout out to the Perkins family, right? I just want to send my love and appreciation to the real ass energy in this Detroit area. You know what I'm saying? I've been living in Detroit for about 18 months, and I'm just fortunate and grateful to have this experience. I don't feel like I'll live in Detroit forever, but I can say that I lived in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And I rub shoulders with some of the realest people on the planet. So if I never said thank you to the city of Detroit for welcoming me and my family with open arms and showing us about ourselves in ways that we'd have never had that reflection, just want to say thank you. Once again, I'm talking about a whole bunch of shit that I want to talk about. So moving forward, today we're going to talk about, in our Law of Attraction segment, the divine plane of ideas, or the soul plane. Now, the soul plane is just like the movie, where everything is funny, weird, but it makes hella sense, and if you read between the lines, you'll catch some heavy downloads. So, with that being said, if you down and out, see, I took my own advice on my last edition of Mystic Math, which will be dropping Wednesday on CHUO.FM. You can tune in live on the app, right? Like me, every morning, Mystic Math. And if you just want some eccentric good vibes, you want to just tune in to CHUO.FM, right? I know you're tired of Spotify and listening to the same old music, so to tune in and tap into different frequencies and vibrations, man, CHUO.FM not just on Wednesday on Mystic Math, but especially Wednesday, 8:20, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can catch the recording, right? Tune in, tap in to Mystic Math, right? Every Wednesday. But the reason that I bring that up is because I was the last Mystic Math. I was saying how you got to put yourself in situations where you laughing and you having a good time, or you enjoying something. And the thing that I said, like a comedy movie or Martin, the thing for me was the movie Soul Plane. Like, when I tell you I never laughed so hard, like I had a legit heart gut-wrenching laugh just watching that movie. But it just tuned in and tapped into the energy. But the double entendre, because I'm very poetic, I love words, you understand what I'm saying? Sidereal, Moon, and Gemini, right? The soul plane was a play on words, like the soul plane of existence, which foray into the divine plane of ideas, the divine plane and the soul plane. But that shit's funny, but that shit is hella deep if you just sit and think about it for a second, right? Understanding that if you can tap into your soul plane of existence, what does the soul mean in basic English? The soul is your little version of God, okay? So if we universally as a human species, this is the message that you should share. Bring truth and awareness to the people that you know and love, right? Because you can spread this awareness and you would then feel like Big Meech, Larry Hoover, Martin Luther. That's the remix coming soon, right? Pay attention, all right? And I ain't talking about Martin Luther King too. I'm talking about the Protestant Reformation, but I digress. But yes, spreading the truth of awareness that we paying attention to everything that's happening external to us, but we're not paying attention and tuning into our soul plane of existence. Why? Because on the soul plane of existence, everything is funny, right? And it ain't nothing but melanated energies, right? So tune in and tap into the movie Soul Plane. It was one of the most happiest moments of my week, highlights of my week, just tuning in and tapping into that week. I enjoy everything, but everything not always particularly gut rich and funny, right? But Soul Plane was definitely that. But I actually tie that in to tuning in and tapping in with the ancestors on a real level. Because when I say that them joints is funny, they got hella jokes in reference to what y'all be doing this weekend. You know, how many weaves was left behind, how many boxer draws was left behind. Fellas, real quick. Stop leaving your boxers at the girl house. And how do you leave the house? How do you go in the house with boxers, right? Don't have another set of boxers. You just gonna leave out the house the next morning without no drawers on. Y'all gotta stop doing that, because then they taking y'all drawers and they burying them, and now you done lost your job, right? Now you back living with your mama and things of that nature, because you let your drawers go around all willy-nilly. Now, I know y'all think that that's crazy, but Google it, right? Get on Reddit. Ask your favorite witch friend about burying boys' drawers and things of that nature. Ask me if I'm making it up, or, you know, or if that's a real thing. But I digress. Let's deal with my weekly observations of what's happening in the world before we get into the astrology. How your mama doing? How your cousin and them doing? Like, I ain't seen them in so long. I ain't seen your cousin and them so long. Hey, I'm gonna go through this real quick because I had to write this out in notes. I can get like real in depth into this, but I choose not to. But I'm just going to break down 2020 and the energies that have been taking place on the spiritual level from what I've observed. Now, you could have an addition to this. Please email me at hoodmystic@gmail.com, because I'm not saying that this is the whole story. I'm sure that there's tie-ins and tap-ins to what I've observed. I'm not saying that I've observed everything, fam. I'm just saying I have observed some stuff since 2020 or 2019 when I started the Truth is Stranger Than Fiction series, and I was tuning in and tapping into what was happening with the show Watchmen. And I was just understanding that, okay, this is different than a TV show. This is more like a ritual of some sort, but it's tied into other things about life. So you got to find the initial ritual and the additional tie-ins to make it stick, where everything is connected. Nothing is actually separated. That's why I'm saying you have other downloads associated with what I'm about to bring forward. But we're going to talk about what's happening now. Space Jam 2 with featuring Bugs Bunny and LeBron James. How did we get here, right? How did we get here to pulling up this weekend watching Space Jam 2? Well, it was a arduous journey to bring about this movie, right? 2020, we had the year January 26, Kobe Bryant transcended. Later on, George Floyd transcended. And because we collectively, if I say Kobe Bryant and I say George Floyd, for a majority of people, they understand who I'm saying. But if I say Tamika Johnson, you like, who the hell is Tamika Johnson? It was this girl who beat up her boyfriend at the bar last night. You like, okay, why are you telling me that? Well, that is an actual event that happened. But since it's not sacrificial, since it's not energy tied up, you may know about it, you may care about it. But on a collective level, when I say George Floyd and Kobe Bryant, and give me a thumbs up if it is making sense or if it sounds crazy. And if at any point I sound crazy, put it in the chat. Hood, you sound crazy as hell. Talk about astrology. But I want to be specific about what's happening at an energetic level so you can tune in and tap into the energy as opposed to just observing the energy. I want you to be a co-creator of your life. And I want you to tap into the specific energies and archetypes that exist, that the powers that were, right, are presenting to us. So, George Floyd, Kobe Bryant, thus would represent a level of sacrifice, right? Because we can all collectively understand who or what I'm talking about. These two particular events played out in two TV shows, but if you didn't understand the connection, one would just say these are just some great TV shows. Well, Watchmen, the end of Watchmen dealt with, I got pictures today. I forgot I got pictures. Y'all need to see this too, so we're gonna do these pictures and it ain't gonna take a lot of time. But I just remembered. The pictures make it more beast, more robust, right? More robust. We're robust today. Shout out to the robust energy in the world today. If you robust, let me know you robust today. You got substance today. We full of substance today. Robust. That's my word for today. Robust. I don't even know where that's coming from, but if it ain't robust, I don't want it. Robust. How your mama and them? Hope they good. They ain't little Tom ass at the flea market. He getting so big, girl. He getting so big. Like, why do all these kids just be getting so big? My whole life, kids just be getting so big, right? And then they just stop. Like, why? I digress. He getting so big, girl. Why is he getting so big? What you been feeding him? If you can relate, you can relate. If you can't relate, then me and you will never get along in life. Because if you don't understand what I just said, and if that shit ain't funny to you, then we just in two separate worlds right now. I don't get it, Hud. What are you talking about? I don't get it. Okay. No, but Watchmen. Great show, right? Intricate details and things of that nature. Boom, 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 right? But at the end of it, Dr. Manhattan, which was a melanated masculine energy, ended up being the one that transpired. Everybody else on the show lived, and if they did live, they came back, but my mans and them had to get took out. Even deeper, you got Lovecraft Country. That's the wrong picture. I'm gonna say that picture for later. Say that one for later. Did I get the one? I ain't even get the one I wanted for Lovecraft Country, so we'll just use this one. Y'all can use your imagination. If y'all seen Lovecraft Country, y'all know the ending of it. They took my mans out. American Gods. Shadow Moon. He got took out. So basically, when you watch these shows, it's just dudes getting took out. On top of beautiful stories and beautiful backdrops, the overall ending is sacrifice, right? George Floyd happened in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a twin city, thus we have the twin ritual. Now, these shows was for energy and grief. Now, what am I talking about? If you've seen The Outsiders, the show by Stephen King that was on HBO, it was about an energy that would kill based upon not to hurt or harm, but to create the energy of fear and the energy of grief. And that is what it fed off of. So maybe not to you because you Hotep and you went to Egypt this weekend because you got it like that, and you above and beyond your melanated brothers and sisters. But when you talk about, all right, let's cut on the radio right now. If you tune in and tap into melanated stations, they getting programmed and fed whatever the media deems needs to be fed to the people, period. If you turn on BET, it's straight up government regulated, meaning that people who are eccentric, people who speak the truth, they will not be included in the conversation. Because the overall theme and messaging to melanated people is that you need to be sad and you need to be afraid of stuff because we're hungry. The powers that be. So, how does this tie into Nanabohzo or the Playboy Bunny? Drink this. This is Minnehaha and Hiawatha. This is a made-up story about a Native American girl and a spiritual leader coming into Native American Tory. Now, this is a story and basically saying to the Native Americans, I heard that the Europeans are coming and their armies are so big and their armies are so large and they're so mighty and they're so strong, fam. We might as well just quit while we're ahead, fam. Let's just give up. They're coming. They right around the corner. Right. A man by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow put out a story called The Song of Hiawatha about Minnehaha and Hiawatha, the Native American chief and leader who I don't think he's in this one. I thought Hiawatha was in this one. But this one is King Philip, Pontiac, Tecumseh, and Osceola. Okay. This is 4 American Indians about great American Indian war chiefs. Great book. You can get this on Amazon for under $10. It's called 4 American Indians. It's about King Philip or Metacom. It's about Tecumseh, Osceola, and Pontiac. But I digress. Hiawatha was one of those type leaders though. But this is not specifically about Hiawatha, more than somebody writing about Hiawatha and then writing within the document about the Europeans' prowess and things of that nature. But within the Song of Hiawatha, there is this character called Nanabohzo. Who is Nanabohzo, you might ask? And it's all going to make sense once I finish it up. And for some people, it's already making sense. And for some people, like, I'm still kind of lost. But we got to talk about Nanabohzo before we can tie it all in. Give me a second to make it make sense for y'all. And let's deal. We're going to trigger y'all back into kindergarten or going back to grade school when that boy had to read that couldn't really read. But the teacher was like, everybody has to read. Y'all be nice, class. Don't make fun of him. Nanabohzo is one of 4 sons, the 4 American Indian. I'm stopping. Nanabohzo is one of 4 sons, what some historical and religious scholars have interpreted as spirits of direction, so north, south, east, west. Nanabohzo most often appears in the shape of a rabbit and is characterized as a trickster. In his rabbit form, he is called Mishabuz, or the Great Rabbit, or Hare, or Gichiwabuz, the Big Rabbit. He was sent to Earth by Gichi Manitou, or the Great Spirit, to teach the Ojibwa, or the people. He was sent to Earth by the Great Spirit to teach the people. One of his first tasks was to name all of the plants and animals. Nanabohzo is considered the founder of Middle Winwin, which is the school of medicine, or ancient medicine, or secret medicine. He is the inventor of fishing and hieroglyphs. This hysterical figure is a shapeshifter and the co-creator of the world. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's epic poem, The Song of Hiawatha, is an outsider. El Loco, Stephen King, 2020, great show. But it's specifically talking about how energy works. When you're sad, when you're grief, and when you're feeling bad, it's not because you actually feel bad. It's because there are entities and energies that feed off of your negative vibrations. Think about that for a second and learn to feel great about your shit so energies don't feed off of you, even if shit ain't all the way together for you. Because even more so, it's somebody way worse than you. You don't want to live. If you feel bad in your house, how you gonna feel if you don't have a house? If you feel bad in your car, how you gonna feel if you don't have a car? If you feel bad at your job, how you gonna feel if you don't have a job? To which, feeling bad is never the solution in reference to your life. Because feeling bad is not even an emotion that is actually within yourself. Feeling bad is something that you're taught. Due to the lack of nurturing and the lack of understanding, and a whole nother story, but I'll digress. Retelling of several Nanabohzo stories based on research conducted by Henry Rowe Lovecraft. Schoolcraft. So Lovecraft Country thus could be in reference to Nanabohzo's country, or the Playboy Bunny's country, or Bugs Bunny. So let's tap into last year, where it was a big George Floyd deal. This happened in Minneapolis. Now, Minneapolis, we're gonna deal with Tick and Loki, but Tick and Loki, and it's all then gonna make sense when I show you these pictures. Now, something wrong, babe? Oh. My fault. Yeah. Kitty litter and some cat food. Gotta keep the cats happy, fam. I don't know about you, but every night I swing. What is wrong with you, Kyrie? I don't know. But I'm gonna keep moving. All right, so George Floyd, Minneapolis. Now, Minneapolis is just a play on words. The city of water. Mini, M-I-N-E, means water. So there's Minneapolis, the city of water, and then Minnehaha. Now, what does haha mean? Everybody knows what haha means. It means laughter. So Minnehaha means laughing water. Now, what is laughing water? Laughing water is a waterfall. But a waterfall, if you really listen to it, is not really a meditation or water crasher. More than that shit is like laughing at us. How stupid we are for not paying attention to nature. To which, when you tune in and tap into the frequency of waterfalls, you low on money. You don't got shit. You broke. The first place you need to go is tune in and tap into a waterfall. Why? Because the current of the energy that it produces, you could absorb that energy within your being. And you could be just like that waterfall, prosperous and funny as hell, laughing and tuning in and tapping into energies in nature. See, our ancestors knew this. That's why you can tune in and tap into anywhere within the world and find a waterfall and tune in and tap into a particular currency and frequency of prosperity and overall joy. But if you don't tune in and tap into waterfalls, you're not tapped in and tuned in to the Minnehaha energy. But as you see, Hiawatha is partnered up with Minnehaha. And what these are shape-shifting Nanabohzo archetypes that are then written and sketched into literary history through the modality of entertainment. To which, when you then tap in and transpose little Hiawatha into what does it look like today, that would simply be LeBron James, and Bugs Bunny, and Lola Bunny. LeBron James, LeBron James. So where you think that it's just a movie, no, this is big propaganda, fam. This is the continuation of the George Floyd and Kobe Bryant thing. Because then you got Los Angeles Lakers who win the championship last year. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. And then you got the Milwaukee Bucks, one game away from winning the championship. Where did Milwaukee? I know Milwaukee ain't in Minnesota, but Minneapolis, but close. It's close. So, George Floyd has a tattoo on his chest of what would be called, it looks like a sphinx, and his hand is on like a urn of some sort. That's LeBron James. But George Floyd got the Eagles, and it's right on their chest, and they look kind of similar. Even if you Google LeBron's dad. If you Google LeBron's dad, it'll look a lot like George Floyd. Am I saying that George Floyd is LeBron James' dad? No. But I'm saying twin cities, twin energies. Nanabohzo is a shape-shifting trickster bunny of antiquity, but then transposed into our entertainment world. So we may think that it's a writer who is so smart to tap in to Nanabohzo and bring it forth in the archetype of Bugs Bunny, to tie in and tap in all of these rituals and things of that nature. We may think that it's somebody that diabolical or that smart, but I'm saying no. Nobody's that smart. I'm saying Nanabohzo's energy is so strong that it would take an irrelevant ass cartoon and make it the most dominant popping conversation, so you can bear witness to the bunny frequency, the Nanabohzo frequency, which is more about, what's up, Doc? Being outsmarting the competition. being the winner, being the leader, right? So who is that? Is that Bugs Bunny or is that Nanabohzo? Is that the co-creator of the world? Or is that just some cartoon that we tuning in and tapping into and think it's funny that we should watch it with our kids? Now, Nanabohzo energy just does not stop with Space Jam 2. No, it continues on, family. It goes on into our favorite show that we've been watching for the past 6 weeks, the show called Loki. And to tie in, we got our main man, Lovecraft Country's own Jonathan Majors, shows up as the end, as Kang. We was Kangs. We know that we was Kangs and Queens now. Don't play me. I know that we was Kangs. That's my shit. I love saying that. We was Kangs. So at the end of Loki, the season finale, there our man go, Jonathan Majors. What makes Jonathan so major? Well, his first role was in 2020. His first role was in 2020, The Last Man in San Francisco. Shout out to the Yay area. E40 and them. How your mom and them? Tell me when to go. Last Man in San Francisco, his name was Montgomery. Now, Montgomery is broken into Mount of Gomer, or Gomer's Mound. We're just going to set that there. His next feature, where he's the lead character, how did that happen? He's major. His daddy name is Montrose, or Rose Mound. His name was Atticus. Now, Atticus is a Greek king who claimed to be a descendant from God. That's his claim. You can Google it. Now, when you look at Lovecraft Country, he was the one who could understand all the languages, was the strongest person, got the light-skinned girl. Gotta have a light-skinned girl unless you validate it in everybody's hearts and minds as the winner. I digress. I didn't mean, did I say that out loud? I so apologize for speaking truth. But I digress. Yeah, he hit all of the check marks of descendancy of godhood, and being a descendant from God didn't mean that he wouldn't get, he could still die. Make it make sense. The most powerful being in the mythos can somehow conspire to not even get killed, but to literally just say, it's okay for y'all to kill me. And then in Loki, my man does the same thing. He says, I know you're gonna kill me, go ahead and kill me. He just sat there and let her kill him. But then he reincarnated. But who killed him was a Nanabohzo-esque character such as Loki and Sylvie. Now, how did they kill Jonathan Major? Well, Sylvie is an enchantress. She taps into the energy of enchantment. But what is enchantment? Besides a slamming ass group of the 70s. Gloria, my Gloria. Y'all know about that enchantment, but I digress. The act of magic or witchcraft, the use of magic or magic power. So Sylvie tries to defeat Kang the Conqueror at the end of Loki by the modality of enchantment because she is an enchantress. But now when you look at Loki, I want y'all to look at this and tell me now, do y'all see it now of what the energy of what this show is trying to bring forward? Was it Loki or was it Nanabohzo? Now let y'all decide. Is them bunny ears or is them devil horns? Y'all tell me in the chat. Give me an emoji. Give me the devil emoji or give me the bunny emoji. Is Loki about Nanabohzo, trickster, American energy, or is it just about a Norwegian myth? Or is it specifically talking about this trickster bunny? So at the end, series finale, 4 ways into Space Jam 2. You can't make that up. Wednesday, bleeding into Friday. Well, they're trying to keep this Nanabohzo energy up high. Is that a bunny? Am I tripping? Let me know if I'm tripping in the chat. Is that a bunny? Or is that some devil, Loki, trickster energy? Or is they tuned in and tapped into the American mythology? I'm just trying to give y'all game on the energies and the frequencies to tune in and tap into, which would be the archetype of the bunny, the American bunny. You might see him hopping around and think nothing of it. But the next time you see a bunny hopping around, I want you to understand that that might not just be a bunny. That might be a Native American spirit animal trying to communicate with your simple ass, right? And you're just thinking about what's happening on what your baby daddy doing. Your baby daddy is at work, working a double shift at Amazon, sis. Don't worry about it. He'll get off around 10 p.m. They got packages to deliver, sis. That's just how it goes. Amazon be hiring, Jack. Y'all laughing. We all gonna be at the goddamn break room in Amazon laughing. That shit gonna be real funny. We got on our damn blue smocks. Talking about where y'all root at today. I'm doing the west side. What you doing? East side. You always get the east side looking boy. It's funny because we're gonna be buying shit off Amazon, delivering it to ourselves to make that make sense. Oh my god. I gotta keep drinking water because this shit is so funny.
This is an original instrumental. Soulful music.
So hopefully your Ogun has been cooled off. Tried to bring some lighthearted truth energy, but not bringing stress into your life. Because a lot of times people want to bring stress and truth into your reality and make you question if you're doing the right thing. So through magic and sorcery, over and over again, they can kill the certain person, but they cannot kill the same energy because energy doesn't die. It just keeps coming back and keeps coming back. So at the end of Loki, yes, they killed Jonathan Major, but guess what happens? Who is on the statue? It's just a statue of Martin Luther King. I mean to say Jonathan Majors. I don't know why that Martin Luther King energy is so strong. Maybe because he is a clone of Martin Luther King. I don't know where that came from. Gotta drink water. See, they tried to... Y'all will learn one day. Y'all will learn one day about reincarnation and things of that nature and rituals and things of that nature and them knowing your energy better than you know your energy and things of that nature. But let's deal with some astrology. Is your Ogun cool? Today we'll be talking about the Sun opposed Pluto as it transits into the Cancer Deacon of Love opposing Pluto, energy of change. So as love incurs into your life, true love ultimately requires a change. No way that you can say that you loved yourself to the most ultimate of all ultimates yesterday, to which you do not have to love yourself of the ultimates of all ultimates today. When you begin to be serious about your self-love process, it brings about a change. And it's not because I want change. I love my friends. I love my family. I would wish that my friends and family be just stick with me for all time and just rock out with my day ones and things of that nature. But that's not my life path. In reference to Sun entering into the energy of Cancer, you must tune in and tap into those members of your soul group. Tap into your soul plane. But it's hard to tap into your soul plane if your Ogun is hot. So as we talk about Venus conjunct Mars in the first decan of Leo opposed Jupiter, these are Ogunian territories where there is war, anger, eagerness, narcissism, manipulation, and illusions, and all of these things. And because we see them, we get pissed off. And the thing about us, when we get pissed off, don't nothing happen. But the thing about the world and the processions of the equinoxes and things of that nature, it doesn't stop because Charmaine ass is pissed off because her baby daddy cheated last night. I mean, it is July 19th, whether that nigga cheated or not. It's Mountain Valley spring water. That's why I'm drinking it like that. Gotta keep my old goon cool. Because it's always bullshit that take place. It's always energies that take place that bring about the feelings of, I've been played. But if you realize that you from the universe and the level up is about your understanding of self-love, then yesterday was a form of illusion, manipulation, and some form of a narcissistic tendency because you're moving out of that vibration. But if you never move out of a vibration, if you never say Sun opposed Pluto, right? If you never say the deepest love is about how I change, as opposed to the deepest love is about how strong my roots are to my day ones. Well, that ain't in reference to life, where life is changing constantly. So think about your relationships. Are your relationships based upon truth? Or are they based upon an illusion, a manipulation, or a narcissistic tendency? And fellas, you could be in a relationship with a woman and she be deeply narcissistic, meaning that she doesn't care about the integral processes of the relationship, how to manage the emotions, how to manage the overall equilibrium of the home or the diet of the home, the Cancerian forces of the energy, while you deal with the Capricornian energies. Or vice versa, because there's some great stay-at-home dads and there are some wonderful 10th house Capricornian women who hold their family down financially. But if you are a Capricornian woman and you attract a Cancerian male and you like, well, I don't like you, Cancerian male, you too feminine for me. Well, you too masculine for him, but that's a whole nother conversation. Is your Ogun cool? Because if it ain't, you're not going to be able to handle this conversation. So keep water on deck and cool your Ogun, cool your war tendency, because in reference to the people that are close to you, these are the people that got a 10 times out of 10 wash your dirty drawers. So before you lash out on the people that's close to you, you just have to understand that as you level up, so much your friends and family, and that's okay. Because the best thing that happens for you is not going to trigger an earthquake or nothing like that. I mean, tomorrow will be July 20th. And the day after that will be July 21st. The only difference is that you're choosing your bliss over your obligation. Keeping your Oguns cool. But the Jupiterian energy, as it enters into Aquarius, it has us in a particular mindset where we have to learn. And even more so, if Jupiter transits through Capricorn and we go through our Jupiter and Capricorn in a right manner, we might be at heights that we never imagined ourselves to be on. But we forget the purpose if we ride our Jupiter and Capricorn energy completely selfishly. Because we ultimately should understand that out of Capricorn comes Aquarius. Meaning that you come down off of your high horse and then you say, what have you learned on top of that mountain? A lot of times y'all just say, I just learned myself a little bit more. And it's like, well, we're starving, bro. You were supposed to go to that mountain and bring about the sustenance and bring it back down. Don't you know the processions of the equinox is not reference to your personal ability to be nostalgic or to be narcissistic? Nobody care about your personal success. When you transition, nobody's gonna give a fuck about the money that you made. It's about the impact that you made and the changes that you brought about of spreading truth and awareness because you think you Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Spreading truth and awareness. Hallelujah. I digress. Jupiter in Aquarius ultimately is pointing out not who has presented illusions to us. It is our illusions within ourselves. The times that we manipulated ourselves and our narcissistic traits. And it is teaching us that we are deeply vulnerable when it comes to these aspects. And what's crazy is that we're not even rich to even be so narcissistic, to even be so manipulative, to even create the illusions within our worlds and within our relationships to which we don't even know how to actually change. So how do you step up? You learn. You educate yourself. Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. You don't read the book. You read that book and you take notes. Because it's imperative that you be emotionally intelligent, or else you in situations and circumstances where you're emotionally being violated. So much so that you think that it's perfectly normal to feel disconnected from source. You think that that's cool. I'm having a bad day today, Hood. I'm disconnected from source, Hood. That's dangerous, sis. That's dangerous, because ultimately what you're saying is your life force energy is not even relevant to your overall experience. And if I told you to tap into it through the portal of emotions, meaning that you have to be emotionally accountable to tap into your source on a daily experience, to which you always produce high vibrations and high frequencies, no matter what. Well, that's too much to do. Sometimes I gotta feel disconnected, Hood. Well, the disconnected feeling is going to create the vibration and negativity, so much so until you realize that it has to be your conscious source, because you understand the duality or the disparity of being disconnected. Meaning that if you feel bad, be prepared to feel worse, because you don't understand the actual functions and the actual instructions of the law of attraction in reference to changing yourself, changing who you are at a deeper level. To which is easier to call somebody else narcissistic. It's easier to say how somebody manipulated. It's easy to say how people have put illusions in your life, but it's harder to say how you've done those things too. And it's harder to say, I need to learn. I need to put my phone down, pick up a book, get a notebook, and really learn what this book is saying. Internalize it and apply it in my daily life so I can be emotionally intelligent. But when you talk about grown-ass people into their 30s, they only want to have fun. They only want to have a good time. And so as the sun transits into Cancer, in this Cancer season, people you can really, really see in your friends and family structures, the ones who want to get drunk all the time, you smart enough to know that they call that alcohol spirits for a reason. Now, I buy alcohol all the time, but I take that stuff to the graveyard. Alcohol is for the dead. I'm gonna say that one more time. Alcohol is for the dead. Or if you got something that you need to clean out or sanitize. Never once do you think alcohol is creating a positive vibration in your life more than that it's pulling you into that dead realm. It is a spirit that you ingest. And you do not produce these spirits. You're not fermenting these particular hops and things of that nature. You don't know the particular voodoo and hoodoo that's being put down on that alcohol. So the more that you think about it, the easier that it is to move away from these particular spirits and tap into your soul plane. Is your Ogun cool? Keep your Ogun cool, because the people in your life is not brought into war with. To which that war that you have internally is now subjugated and turned in and tuned in to your divine masculine partner, your divine feminine partner, to which you so unloved internally that you can't even love a sister. You so in love internally that you can't even love a brother. You waiting for a brother to come say something to you so you could turn them down. But that's a whole nother video. Y'all don't want to get into that. Y'all for sure don't want to talk about that. So let's talk about Venus conjunct Mars in the energy of Leo. The first decan of Leo deals with the energy of strife. Strife meaning that there are a lot of energies pulling at you, a lot of rash actions, a lot of sexual obsessions that you will tune in and tap into and to think that these are the way. But in reality, what it is reducing your life force energy. Why is this reducing your life force energy? Because your life force energy is so strong and it's so uncontrollable and you don't know what to do with it. So your rash action is to think that you must have sex. You have to have sex. You calling somebody on now and you don't got nobody to call, so you on Tinder, you on Plenty of Fish, and you playing the role like, hey, I'm trying to get to know you, but really you just want to have sex because you do not understand your body and your energy. So as Venus conjunct Mars in the first decan of Leo is saying that you need to train your body, mind, and sexual energy to raise that Kundalini energy up your spine so you can tap into the divine plane of ideas. Now, when we tap into these divine plane of ideas, that do not mean start a YouTube channel and get things popping for your personal career. No, we are understanding ourselves and our energy. You learning the instruction manual before you tap in, but we know how y'all get. Y'all get the stuff from IKEA and just start putting shit together. And then when you look at the finished product, it's all lean. We gonna lean to the left. We gonna lean to the right. We gonna lean to the left. Baby, give us some room. Y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all don't be really tuned in and tapped into real music. Shout out to that H channel too. We gonna lean to the left. That's what y'all IKEA furniture be looking like, fam. Because you did not read the instructions. So when you look at your spiritual life and your spiritual understanding, please understand that it's not reduced to spiritual mumbo jumbo, nor is it tied in and tapped into reading people's readings and card readings of the day. That is not a part of your spiritual aesthetic. More than is just reading and understanding your glandular process and how it relates to the spiritual, meaning that it may not be spiritual at all. Everything might be a matter of anatomy, meaning that in reference to your electrons and your DNA and your cellular function and how that operates, if you were to say that that wasn't magic, fam, your heartbeat, not even pumping blood through your body, but giving it a magnetic stamp. Every time your heartbeat is giving your blood a negative ion, to which your heart is just a major positive ion. So if each blood vessel gets stamped with a negative ion, it's getting pushed out of the body, and so your blood is filled with negative stamps. It knows where to go because your heart pumps that positive force that it just comes to it. So your heart is not a pump more than it is just a magnetic stamp. That is magic, meaning that you are the law of attraction, but the law of attraction is in understanding sex. God is sex. When I say God is sex, you say, well, God is God is unknowable. You can't see God. And then it's like, well, sex is uncontrollable. I just need to have it. I can't train my mind and body and sexual energy to raise my Kundalini to my mind, to illuminate my God self energy. Venus conjunct Mars in the energy of Leo to fully. Now Leo deals a lot with the back or the spine. That is the representation or the identification of the body, the back. But the first decan of Leo is the base of the spine, meaning that's where the Kundalini resides at. So when Mars conjunct Venus in the first decan of Leo, it is actually that time to bring about that base energy. And that base energy is sexual in nature. But at the same time, it's not a porno more than it is a pastor saying hallelujah on Sunday. But if you indoctrinated to think that sex bad and hallelujah good, then this message is not going to resonate deep within your soul in reference to what you need to do to excite and bring about understanding of your energy. Now, I would say tune in and tap into Chakra Nova, but y'all done did that already. My thing now is, now that y'all done spent the $23 and got the instruction manual, I would read over that first chapter and really tune in and tap into my Kundalini gland and the exercises, as opposed to just passively reading over something and then putting together a half-ass IKEA table and it's leaning to the left, leaning to the right. Baby, give me some room. So Jupiter in Aquarius. So Venus conjunct Mars opposed Jupiter. Now last week, Venus and Mars was opposed Saturn. Now as it transits a little more into the energy of Leo, the following week, it opposes retrograde Jupiter. Now this Jupiter in Aquarius energy, it is the true self. As it's retrograded, it's coming very close to the Earth. But Jupiter in Aquarius is the overall, what they say, Aquarian age. But the Aquarian age is a personal understanding of personal power. And in order to find power, you have to release attachments. So when we deal and tap into the realities of love that the Sun opposed Pluto present, it's also tied in and tapped into the realities of attachment. Because where we think that attachment is love, that's not love. Now, I love my wife, but it's not based upon an attachment. Now, I don't know what it is on the other way around, but I have to learn and teach myself that I have to learn to love myself and not love my relationship, because within loving your relationship, you be really looking for people to do things for you that you can do for yourself. And that's attachment, that's obligation. And so I got to check myself on the times that I say, well, since you're my wife, you should be doing X, Y, Z. And in reality, I know for a fact that that's something that I could be doing. Sometimes I say, well, I do too much. Well, I'm lying to myself, when in reality, I could do much more. I'm not maxed out. So what I'm saying, sometimes in your relationship, you might feel like you cannot do more than what you're doing. Well, this is an illusion. And this is in relation to motherfuckers just want to party and bullshit all the time. Because if it's a party, an all-white party, niggas be looking fresh as hell. But when it comes to educating yourself on the intricacies of secured credit partners and things of that nature, building an LLC or S Corp and things of that nature, or having a book circle or a goddess circle, or, you know, having conversations in relation to our emotional health and our mental health and things of that nature is hard gettings. But if I got free chicken wings in an all-white party, y'all showing up. So the realities of deep love may not be found in your obligations and attachments more than it could be that your true love is moving you up out of your present circumstance. And somebody knocking at your door could be a block to where you need to be, miles and miles and miles away. An additional thing, you can have all of the positive energy in the world. All of the positive energy in the world. All of the love energy in the world. Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn means that it's actual shit that needs to take place. So maybe Pluto in Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius is like, oh, energy, I love your energy. No, what are you doing? Fuck your energy. I don't care about your energy any longer. I don't care about your vibes. I don't care about your frequency. What are you doing, fam? What's going on? What about your Aquarian function? Now, the Aquarian function is a very simple function. It's a function of going to the celestial sea and bringing forth vital knowledge to the community, or vital nutrients or vital waters to the community. That's Aquarian in nature, to which the selfish, narcissistic, manipulative, illusionary energies essentially block one from tapping into the Aquarian energy, because it's all about you. You feel like everything is going to be Capricornian. It's all going to be focused on me and my business, and it's suffocating. It's suffocating to people who love you, because there is no way that they can intercede in helping you or dealing with you, because it's all about you. It's all about your energy. I can't deal with this person because this person got energy and this, that, and the third. But what about your strategy? What about your calculative measure to get what you want? What about your vision? Because a vision makes it a lot easier outside of energy. Waking up every day worried about the energy, as opposed to waking up every day and worried about what part of your strategy are you on. That's a different level. However, Jupiter in Aquarius, Jupiter presents a sword for all of us to yield. Part of our expansion is cutting away all of the fat and tapping into your divine creative energy. And this also deals with moving away from your emotional bonds. Because your emotional bonds is tied into energy and how people feel. In reference to your vision, you don't give a damn how people feel. It's irrelevant to how people feel. It's just this is what I have to do today. Because I'm fixated on my vision. I'm fixated on my law of attraction. I'm fixated on the fact that if I don't create the reality for myself, somebody else is going to create the reality for me. And the 36 years going on 37 years of people creating the reality for me, I'm good. I'm ready to deal with my divine creative energy, so I'm cutting away the levels of fat, and that's literally, figuratively. And I'm not fighting or I'm not arguing with people, and I don't have no pride to deal with people. I understand that a lot of the things that I say go in one ear and out the other, and more or less you wouldn't necessarily judge me on the things that I say, but more or less you watch the shit that I do. And more or less, and if I stop and explain to you the things that I'm doing, then I'm not actually doing the things that I'm doing. So I gotta move in the new direction and trust that this Sun and Cancer energy is going to move me closer to my soul group. I know that what I seek is seeking me. To which, if I'm trying to make other people see what I see, I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time, and that's the overall goal of what we're trying to move ourselves into. So what's the overall view of the astrology that I'm peeping up for the week in reference to the Sun opposed Pluto, and it all dealing with this Neptune and Pisces energy? Because the Sun is the Sun is trining Neptune, while Pluto is sextiling okay, let me get that right. The Sun is trining Neptune, and Pluto is sextiling Neptune, and that creates a learning triangle. And what we're attempting to learn is the truth. So of course we love people, but what is true love? Of course we do stuff, but what is it in reference to our soul? What is it reference to our purpose? Are we tuned in and tapped into our soul and our soul's purpose? Are we tuned in and tapped into what our mom and daddy want us to do? To which we then understand where our emotional disconnect is. When you tune in and tap into source, is an overall positive vibration. And this positive vibration is essential to tap into the deeper realms of truth. Because you being pissed off is an actual emotional, hormonal reality. It produces cortisol. Your adrenals produce adrenaline. When you feel it, when you feel rage, when you feel anger, that's a hormonal secretion more than that is a reality. And that hormonal secretion, it goes in the realms of pheromones. So you can be alone in your room and surrounded by energy, spirits, and demons based upon the pornography and the alcohol that you would consume. And now you're surrounded by spirits. And now you're feeling this rage and this anger and this fear and this frustration and this sadness, and it's none of your emotions and none of your energies. It's not even you. It's specifically for the energies and thought forms that you've created so they can feed. You gotta feel like you ain't gonna be in a relationship so that thought form can feed. That's not the reality, because when you tune in and tap into your creative source, the source that you are, it's not even something that you need to buy. It's a realization of who you are as a perpetual means of salvation and positive vibrations and frequencies. Because The spiritual truth is so true that it is an abundance of positive emotions and vibrations. So if there's a subtle tendency of, I'm not really sure about this is making me feel a certain type of way about it, is not of connection. It is of disconnection. Because when you are affirmed and validated through source, swear to God, you want to bust a nut, because God is sex. Keep that in mind. So we are learning the difference between love and true love, will and true will. We're also learning what relationships serve us and what relationships do not have our best interest in heart. The other thing that we're learning as we're transiting into major energies of thought and the major energies of passion and creativity and will, do we have an action plan internally? Or have we been so dependent on our structure and our limitations to take care of our action plans that our vulnerability that we feel is just an indication that we need to plan and structure how we are going to emotionally attack our day? Meaning that you may have physical, mental, literary, taking notes, going to work, whatever you're going to do today, you planned out and structured it. But my thing is, have you planned it out emotionally how you are going to feel? Because your feelings are a gateway to your soul. You feeling like shit, but you want to connect to your soul. That's the disconnect. We have to learn to feel great. We have to learn to put ourselves into spaces and relations, and that negative feeling that you feel within your relationship, your friendship, partnership is an indication that that shit's not completely connected. You know, maybe you and maybe your partner is somewhere where people need to connect. It may be a dog. Your dog need to connect to his goddamn dog spirit. He too relying on you to take him walking and to feed him and things of that nature. And you can't focus on yourself and that little energy. You need to teach your dog to be a little bit self-reliant. Whether you build him a doggy door, right? Get him a dog house or something. Find you something to do, Fido. I'm trying to tap into the divine plane of ideas. So what I like to do during this time is every week I'm bringing forth a different law of attraction idea. So trying to keep track. They're very important. That's why I'm trying to keep track. And as I'm saying I'm trying to keep track, I'm forgetting as I'm trying to keep track. But I know last week we dealt with boundaries and common purpose, where in the reference of law and attraction, we do not have boundaries. Right? So how does that play out? You're not in your truth. You know your truth. You know you want Idris Elba at the front. You want Lenny Kravitz at the back. But you married the goddamn to the Nutty Professor. And you trying to figure that part out. Don't kid yourself. Be real about how the situation is, about your ultimate truth. You gotta learn how to not be distracted by what you don't have and learn to tap in and tune in to what you do have. So ultimately, if you do not have the boundary between you and everybody else, you will absorb everybody else's law of attraction. And ultimately, you will be in a place where you're like, man, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this. Yeah. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to go through this, you know? And from there, you're like, how do I create the boundaries? How do I find people that think like I think? Well, first you got to figure out how you even think. You got to figure out your overall vision. You got to be so fixated on that vision. Within that vision is a talent, a skill, and ability. But sometimes we get so distracted by our talent and abilities that we don't even know what we're doing with it. An example would be a singer that's just following the trends to the point where we don't even know your identity as a singer. Like, what's your vision? Where do you see yourself? Are you Mariah Carey? Are you going to be a local singer, hit the bar scene? Are you going to put out a CD? You trying to be a major artist? What is your vision for your career? I'm just waiting for people to like my music. Can you stream my CD? I'll stream your CD if I'm tuned in and tapped into the vision, to which this is where Jupiter and Aquarius comes in. Is where it's easy to be successful if you're thinking about your audience. I'm gonna repeat that because in all of business and endeavors, the person who thinks about their audience, they always succeed. Versus the person that's in their business and trying to be successful for them to prove something to themselves, it's a struggle. It's a struggle because it's not about your business more than it is about yourself. So is your vision for everybody to clap and tell you how great of a person you are? Or is your vision to provide the highest of understandings of life, to which if you don't have that figured out within yourself, you haven't given yourself that love, that ability to be that thing for yourself, whether it's to stand up to somebody or say the thing that you need to say, or go to a place that you need to go, or stand up onto, or you got your barriers, your financial barriers, and all of the things that you're going through. It's like you're going through it. How do you get out of it? 10 times out of 10, you get out of it because you realize that you don't have a vision and it's time to create a vision. So much we get tied into who we are in our lack and where we need to just show forth of, hey, I'm the hood mystic. I'm an excellent tarot reader. I'm an excellent astrologer. I go through this whole life and never talk about that shit because it don't make me none if you don't sign up for a reading. I'll have a whole bunch of time for myself. I don't care. I don't care about anything in reference to me being productive. I know the vision for me and my family. I know where I'm trying to put my family and where I'm trying to bring my family as a whole. And it has nothing to do with any one particular thing. More than it is a fixation and an understanding of vision. And now that I realize that that vision is real in reference to what I truly know about my energy, what I truly know about my law of attraction, and really dealing with my fears in reference to I'm not going to relive my vision or see my vision. See, that is the block to the overall manifestation. And I can see that. So what is the goal for me? Relinquishing and releasing the bogged up, reincarnated fear from past lifetime. How do we access the divine realms? How do we access the divine planes of ideas? Once again, by for real understanding that within us is a strong power source. Now, you may feel like there is not a strong power source within you. And that's where the disconnect is. That's why you tuned in and tapped into me, or to her, or to him, or to this, or to that. Because whatever is found within that external thing is a power greater than yourself. I just got on this live to tell you that there is no power greater than you outside of yourself. For if you were to tap into the soul plane or the divine plane of ideas, thus you will see your personal soul. But what does your personal soul represent? Your personal soul represents an intermediary of higher cosmic intelligence. Give me 1 second. Even at night. But anyways, your soul is a mini god. And we all have many gods or many intelligences, cosmic intelligences, or ways to understand the cosmic intelligences within ourselves. And it's so strong, it's almost like we are that higher cosmic intelligence. But when we hold up all of our illusions in front of who we are, like all of our illusions are in front of the mirror. So when we look out into ourselves, we see all of our illusions, we see all of our doubts, we see all of our fears. And then we move one layer, and then there's another layer of doubt and fear that may have happened when we were 7. And then there's the invulnerable doubt and fear and illusions to when we were like little children. And that is trauma and pain that we didn't even know that was even there. Clear that up. And then it's past life in the same cycle, so forth and so on. These processes and illusions that we keep digging and we keep shredding and we keep finding that source of light if it gets covered. Because that source of light within ourselves is our soul. And our soul is very important because it is our go-between. It is our middleman between that and the higher cosmic intelligence. And I'm here today to tell you that there is no difference between you and that. So when we reference higher cosmic intelligence, the only thing that pulls you from that is that time that you dealt with that no good ass nigga, or the time that your baby mama filed child support on you, or the time that you found your baby mama cheating on you, or the time that your daddy wasn't there for you, or the time that your mama abandoned you, right? And these things that you feel like are your birthright, when in reality, those are your illusionary thought forms that hold you back from your soul, or from your soul plane, or from your plane of divine ideas. So to focus and double down on a particular vision comes with no guarantees. I have a vision for me and my family, and if it doesn't manifest, I understand. That's why it's a vision. That's why I'm careful. That's why I'm pragmatic. That's why I have to remind myself of this, because it's easy to say, I'm gonna put my vision down because it might not happen. You could say, I want to be in a relationship, but I'm single. So I might not want to be as submissive or as attractive, meaning that the energy that brings about the law of attraction in my life, my attraction is based upon my attractiveness. And you could be attractive from the inside out. Womb steam, spiritual bath, oil your body down, moisturize your body, relax your hair or play in your hair, oil down your hair, braid your hair, take your braids out, love on yourself, clip your nails, clip your toenails. This is how you become attractive. That had nothing to do with your aesthetics. It's not to say that a man can't sting and release those energies and those urethral vibrations as well. But even with all that said, you bringing forth your best self. There's no guarantee that people are going to say, "Ooh, Kyrie, you looking good today. You've been putting on that rose oil. You've been moisturizing your skin. I see you've been combing your beard a little more. I see you've been brushing your hair. I see you've been at the barber shop every 2 weeks faithfully. That's a big deal for you because you'll never be being consistent with your barber. Are you getting your hair cut every 2 months, fam? That's weird. But the fact that you keeping up with it, I'm proud of you, big dog. See, that's weird. If I was to ever hear that, I would be like, yo, you paying too much attention to me in reference to the fact that this is the attention that I need to pay attention to myself. It's very important through this spiritual process that we not forget the power of being attractive in reference to the law of attraction. Because even though there are no guarantees, it sets you up for a higher probability than coming through this bitch looking dusty. In reference to manifesting $100,000 or $1 million, or in reference to having the highest success of your business, to which you want to dress and feel and moisturize and take care of yourself as if you a millionaire. So when I go through my beauty routine, I'm tapped into the frequency of Oshun. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. She said, step on next, Hood. We got you a little garment bag. We got all of your supplies in there. After you take your shower, you gonna love on yourself too, big dog. I said, okay, Oshun, I trust you. I'm gonna beautify myself on you mugs. But it's a Venus conjunct Mars in Leo energy where I'm ready to act the part. I'm ready for my close-up. I'm ready to have the conversation. It feel good looking in the mirror and not seeing a fat boy all the time. It feel good looking in the mirror and say, oh shit, you looking kind of manly over there, big guy. Keep it up. Nobody telling me this. I'm telling this to myself. And because I'm doing these inner things, I know for real, my vision is closer to men. Like, I know what I want for my family. I know about my law of attraction. I know that it's working. And I'm not even going to give you the examples. I want you to understand for which what I'm saying so you can begin to live through these examples for yourself. Because the fact that of me manifesting the shit for me and my family, it ain't going to really mean much to you, for real, for real. But if you can understand that it's good shit happening for me, for real, for real. But it's because I'm doing the inner work, doing the attractive work, and I'm being the attract in my law of attraction. To which, when I feel good about Kyrie, this is a big thing for me, and it might be a big thing for you, because it's not necessarily on buying all of the clothes. See, I still haven't got the Balenciaga old man shoes yet that I want. I still haven't got the Valone short. I still haven't got me the iced out cowrie shell piece from down around the corner from Hutch. I still ain't got my gold, iced out teeth. I still ain't got my dunked out Caprice on 28-inch rims and nothing like that. But I realized none of that was in reference to my law of attraction. That was all in reference to my illusion. That was all in reference to the things that I may have thought I wanted versus who I am. Because maybe the 28 inches is going to be a good smoke screen for people to think, oh, that boy riding clean. That boy got an iced out this, that, and the third. This boy doing this boy doing that. And never fully understanding that it's more of an aesthetic. It's more about how I take care of myself. And I reference that there is no guarantees because a guarantee in an adversity will have you quit. But in reference to my law of attraction and my law of attraction journey, I had many reasons to quit. I had many circumstances to give up. But my vision is so strong that I don't even have the capacity to do so. And hopefully, in reference to this conversation, it has built you up into your resolve of not giving up and understanding that removing the illusions is like 99% of the law of attraction. Why? Because you are higher cosmic intelligence. I said you are. You are cosmic higher intelligence. So now we have to remove all of the barriers to get to that realization for yourself. And this is how we can access this. So really quick, I want to read real quick, and this is from Revelation. I got this message in reference to the divine plane of ideas from Revelation chapter 10, by the way, of the Revelation of St. John by Zachary Lansdowne. If you don't have that book, that's cool. But that's one of my favorite books. So let's do Revelation chapter 10, verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book which was open. He placed his right foot on the sea, and is left on the land. Now, real quick, the right foot on the sea is handling your emotions, emotional intelligence. The left foot on the land is understanding that it's about what you do in this world. It's not about you living in la la land. So you got to have understanding of emotions and understanding of practical matters. That little book is the Kundalini energy, because you are the book, right? You are the book. Now that little book is condensed non-physical energy almost to nothingness, but does little equate to nothing, or does little equate to power? And so that's the beginning of the chapter, the end of the chapter, verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So these spiritual ideas, these divine planes of ideas, are pleasant to complicate. They're pleasant to contemplate. We love to think about spiritual things. We love tarot readings and we love the spiritual journey. But when you start talking about sacrifices and giving up all of the things that once held you back from your true self, and now it's like, I don't want to give up the black and milds hood. I don't want to give up the alcohol. I don't want to give up the random sex on Tinder hood. Can I keep the random sex on Tinder and just move forward with everything else? And it's just like, well, your sexual energy is the most important part to this process. And to release those particular energies, we can have a larger conversation than what I told my wife earlier. But in a nutshell, I was referencing that if I was a dirty dude, and I was having sex with multiple women, and I was passing on that energy to her, we would be in a completely different reality. But the purity of our law of attraction, the way that I know that things will work out, is because I'm honest about my emotions and I'm honest about my energy, for which I give to my wife is not tainted by Jezebel energy. And that's hard. It's easy when Lori Harvey type chicks is not in your DMs like, I'm really feeling your videos. Your videos is doing it for me, hood. I don't know. Something about you. If you was in town, not saying that I would do anything, but you can call me. And part of me like, oh yeah. When I go to sleep at night with my children, or with my wife, and even when it's me in the bed and my John wake up in the middle of the night and he's seeking his dad out or he's seeking his mom out, that's what it's about for me. And a tatalicious with a booty fresh from Dr. Miami might not take me to the promised land. I don't know. Maybe it would, maybe it not. I'm saying it's pleasant to think about, but to really be dedicated to the spiritual journey, to understanding your sexual energy, is so hard, fam, that just talking about it, be like, hood, I want to talk to you about something, and we shoot the shit and talk about a whole bunch of shit, but then the application of these particular things, oh shit, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story, and that's a whole nother reality, and I know that. In reference to everything that's been said thus far, this is why I have to be more or less patient with people, and not be like, well, he like me, he cool with me, or she like me, she cool with me, I could just deal with him. No, what is that self-sabotage within that person really about? Because then when it comes to my vision is like, yes, this is what's going to happen. But you see that energy over there? You see that energy over there? You see that energy over there? They dead set on stopping your vision. You gonna keep going in that direction, or you gonna go internal and let it all make sense from your intuition, trusting your vibration and trusting your frequency, or like my main sis, stand in your vortex, Abraham Hicks. Because in your vortex, people will come and say, I see that vortex you in over there, fam. Can I move you out of it? I need you to help me solve this problem that I can solve for myself. No, for real, help me help myself. Oh, I understand that you can't help me, but you don't understand that you can't help me. So move yourself out of your vortex and help me. And once I steal your vortexual energy, because I'm a psychic vampire, I'm going to just rely on you to do that again. Meaning that I'm not even going to take the energy that you gave me and make it my own. I'm going to take and keep taking and keep taking and keep taking and use you as a source. That's a problem. That's an issue. Once again, the spiritual process, the law of attraction is easy. But to think about these things, sweet. Lovely. I'm a divine goddess of such and such. I've reincarnated. Da 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 da. How much miles you put on your vehicle? How much gas you put in your tank? For the spiritual realm. All of these ideas are much more difficult to apply on a practical level. Rituals in the park, burning sage, and studying your astrology chart. Activate your chakras and things of that nature. None of this is for play. None of this is not to awaken the God within you. But it's not so simple in realizing that in reference to the inundation of illusionary energy, in reference to your emotional frequency of jealousy, envy, greed. What about that greed energy as Jupiter enters in Aquarius, where you have to give and you don't want to give? Because when you tune in and tap into the spiritual truth, meaning that creating this whole layout, I done did blog posts, I done did Instagram posts, I done did the whole video, wrote out a script for the video, worked through the video for nothing. I put close to 48 hours worth of work in this presentation for other people for free. Because I understand that the work that I do, the energy that I give off, it has to come back to me. So I don't wait for people to validate me by paying for stuff, or I do what I need to do first and then the money comes second. This is how close I am connected to my source. And so the message for understanding the divine plane of ideas within yourself is that you are never separated from that. But the judgment that you have in reference to yourself, you do not feel worthy. When I say that your soul is like your little God, when I say that you are a higher cosmic intelligence, you don't feel worthy of the title. Meaning that you judge yourself. But the oxymoron is that you have human pride. You got state pride. You're proud of your graduating class. You're proud of your city. You're proud of your family. When I say that you are a little God, you a big God, you are the great spirit co-creator of your reality, the Nanabohzo energy, the bunny energy, the fertile energy, the prosperity energy, the high sexual vibration energy, you are God. Your heart stamps your blood with negative ions so it can come back to the, just move through your body and just hydrate your life and drink water and take walks at the park and go to the beach and catch a swim. You are God. Don't ever get it twisted. You take care of your children. You walk up and down the street to go back and forth to work, or you catch the bus to go to work. You drive to work. You do what you need to do for what you need to do it for. Oh, you God. Because life is so hard, fam. Life is so difficult. To get to a position that you're in today has been so hard that most people have not even reached your level of understanding and success. But you judge yourself and beat yourself up so much that you don't even realize the God within yourself, for which you are disconnected and separated. But once again, if I give you the tool, if I give you the hammer, it's not to say, look at my hammer. Meaning that if you clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient, claircognizant, you don't say, look at my hammer, look at my spiritual gifts, let me give you a reading. No, you internalize this energy. You understand this energy. This is the divine plane of ideas, and you begin to execute your tools to create your vision. for which if your vision is updating and helping the people through the realms of astrology, tarot, and other occult means, so be it. But make sure what you're doing is a part of your vision and not a part of your tool set. Don't show us your tool set any longer. Begin to cultivate and curate your vision. Internalize your vision first. This is your vortexual energy. If you can keep an energy in a thought frequency for 17 seconds, the next step will then occur. So think about your vision for 17 seconds. That 17 seconds will then create the reality of what you should do next. Now, if you decide to do it or not to do it, that's particularly on you. Thank y'all for joining me for another edition of Hood in the Morning. I hope it served you well. I hope everything came across clear and y'all wasn't confused about the messaging. Even if you were confused for a little bit, hope I brought it back around. I do these weekly lives for free. All that I ask is that you support my channel in some way, somehow, whether it's through Patreon or whether it's through ColumbianExchange.com, buying yourself a steam, buying yourself a book, buying yourself a hat, buying yourself a shirt. But hopefully everything is appropriate energy exchange. And if it ever gets to a point where you got $20 but not $23 and you like, well, you want 23 but I only got 20, be sure to email me. I will give you that $3 off, fam. Please don't think that I'm out here trying to collect every single dollar, but I do have 4 kids that I really love what I do, and I love the fact that I'm able to support my family by doing what I do, but I actually have to be financially compensated somehow, some way. So I try to present good business and equal energy exchange. And for those who have supported me along the way, this is not a plea for you to re-support, but I'm just saying thank you for supporting me to allow me to state this message that I'm stating today. Because of those who supported me in the past, I now know that I deserve to be supported. I deserve to be compensated, even when I did not know that. So once again, the shadow work course is available. That is why I'm having the conversation that I'm having with y'all today, so lucid and so clear and so free and so honest and so happy, is because I've done the shadow work. Now, I'm not only a client of shadow work, I'm the president of shadow work. So I've actually been going through this process of shadow work. Moving forward, Chakra Nova, one of the reasons that I'm having the conversation that I'm having today as well. Very fortunate to have these, I guess, hobbies and things that I like to do, whether it's writing books or studying psychological modalities. And at first I would study these things and be like, what the hell is going on? And the more I studied, the more it made sense, the more it made sense, the more it made sense, the more it made sense. And now I've gotten to a point years down the line that it makes so much sense that I'm able to help other people. And because of that, I'm so fortunate and grateful. You know, it brought me almost to tears at the beginning of the broadcast, just to think about how far I've came and how clear I am on my vision. So I could only hope to share that with you and your family. Be so clear on your vision that it moves you to tears, okay? 1 + 1 = 3. This is the constant reminder every week. You need people in your life that assist you in building your empire and not tearing your empire, because 1 + 1 doesn't never equal 2 more than it equals 0 or 3. So you bring your whole self and they bring their whole self, and let's see what we can create. And I bring that to anybody who wants to email me. That email is hoodmystic@gmail.com. Somebody said something about a transportation company. They said they was going to email me. I ain't got no email yet. Trying to start a transportation company. Stop playing with me. I got my CDL. Stop playing with me.